You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 5th of May. India seeks partners, not preachers, says Jaishankar on EU's differing stance. Islamists in Bangladesh pledge Sharia as they prepare for elections. And Maldives President says no serious concerns in ties with India, faces backlash. And now for all the details. India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar has sharply criticized the European Union for its inconsistent approach to global conflicts, accusing it of acting as a preacher rather than a partner. Speaking at the Arctic Circle India Forum 2025, Jaishankar emphasized India's need for partners, not preachers, particularly those who don't practice at home what they preach abroad. He criticized Europe's mindset that Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problem, a point he first raised in 2022 when he rejected the idea that India's neutral stance on Ukraine should impact global support for its issues with China. The remarks highlight a growing frustration with Europe's perceived double standards, especially as the EU calls for restraint in India-Pakistan conflict while actively supporting Ukraine against Russia. Recently, EU's High Representative for Foreign Affairs, Kaja Kallas, urged both India and Pakistan to show restraint and pursue dialogue, which has drawn fire from experts in India, calling it hypocritical given the EU's military and diplomatic backing of Ukraine against Russia, which has prolonged the war. And as tensions run high between New Delhi and Islamabad, reports have suggested India has initiated work to boost reservoir capacity on Chenab River at 2 hydroelectric projects in Jammu and Kashmir, a move that breaks from decades of treaty restrictions. We have a report.
With India putting the Indus Water Treaty signed with Pakistan at abeyance, a Reuters report has said New Delhi has also begun the work to boost reservoir holding capacity at 2 hydroelectric projects in the Himalayan region of Jammu and Kashmir. Quoting sources, the report said a reservoir flushing process to remove sediment began on Thursday, carried out by India's biggest hydropower company, state-run NHPC Limited, and authorities in the Union Territory. Notably, India did not inform Pakistan about the work at the Salal and Baglihar projects, which is being done for the first time since they were built in 1987 and 2008-9, respectively, as the treaty had blocked such work. People living on the banks of the Chenab River on the Indian side have said they noticed water had been released from both Salal and Baglihar dams from Thursday to Saturday. Residents in Jammu and Kashmir have long claimed the treaty had not been beneficial for the region and have appreciated the action by the government.
हमें खुशी है कि सरकार ने पाकिस्तान का पानी बंद करा है। हम चाहते हैं कि पाकिस्तान को मुंह तोड़ जवाब मिलना चाहिए। जैसे उन्होंने पहलगाम में अटैक करके हमारे बहुत सारे जो टूरिस्ट हैं, जो नाम पूछ के टारगेट किया उनको, उस हिसाब से हम चाहते हैं कि उनको ठोको।
Tension is running high between India and Pakistan after New Delhi accused Islamabad of aiding and supporting the terror attack in Pahalgam which killed 26 men. In a slew of measures, India has downgraded diplomatic ties, expelled all Pakistani nationals and kept the Indus Water Treaty at abeyance. The treaty signed in 1960 was mediated by the World Bank to govern the use water of Indus and its tributaries. Pakistan is heavily dependent on water from this river system for its hydropower and irrigation needs. Pakistan has termed the suspension of the treaty as an act of war. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif earlier said if India builds any structure on the rivers, it will be seen as an aggression and added Pakistan will attack and destroy the structure erected.
And Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari has signed 4 ordinances increasing the salaries of federal ministers and ministers of state to rupees 5,19,000 per month, a jump of up to 188%. As reported by the Dawn News, the new pay scale aligns ministers' salaries with those of MNAs whose salaries were recently raised from rupees 2,18,000 to rupees 5,19,000 following the unanimous approval of the Members of Parliament Salaries and Allowances Bill 2025. No political party, including the ruling PML-N or opposition groups, have objected to the hike. While ordinary citizens face soaring living costs, Politicians from all major parties continue to enjoy massive financial perks without resistance in Pakistan. Moving on, the influencer Hefazat-e-Islam, an influencer coalition of Islamic schools, has stirred political debate in Bangladesh by renewing its demand to establish Sharia law in the country as it eyes elections. Although not a formal political party, Hefazat-e wields significant influence, particularly in rural and conservative areas. We are pretty confident about entering the parliament in the next election, Joint Secretary Mohamed Muizzu told a foreign media outlet recently. Hefazat, which rose to prominence with massive protests in 2013, has long advocated for policies such as blasphemy laws and mandatory Islamic education. The country, founded on secular principles in 1971, has been growing tensions between secular and religious forces over the past decade, and Hefazat's entry into the electoral conversation is likely to intensify that divide. No date has been set for elections, but caretaker leader Muhammad Yunus, who heads the interim government, has promised polls will be held by June 2026 at the latest. Moving on, Maldives President Mohamed Muizzu is facing sharp criticism at home over his recent remarks in which he said there are no serious concerns in ties with India, a statement that marks a shift from his earlier anti-India stance. Former Foreign Minister Abdulla Shahid, in a post on X, slammed Muizzu for what he called political double standards and misleading the public during the 2023 presidential campaign. Shahid pointed out that Muizzu had made Indian military presence and bilateral projects key issues during his campaign, repeatedly accusing India of infringing on Maldivian sovereignty. Shahid accused Muizzu of damaging Maldives' global reputation by spreading fear and distrust. The ties had also downgraded last year after some ministers from the Muizzu administration made derogatory remarks against India's PM Modi during his visit to Lakshadweep Islands. The Maldives government, however, distanced itself from those remarks. At the time, many Indians on social media claimed that they had cancelled their planned holidays to the island nation. And Nepal's House of Representatives has issued a ruling urging the government to initiate high-level diplomatic talks with India over the mysterious death of Prisa Sah, a Nepali B.Tech student at Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology in India's Odisha, who was found dead in a hostel room on 1st of May. This marks the second death of a Nepali female student at KIIT within 3 months, raising alarm in Nepal's parliament. Speaker Devraj Ghimire directed the government to pursue dialogue with India to uncover the truth and provide legal assistance to Sah's family, calling the recurring deaths of Nepali students abroad a serious issue tied to national responsibility. The incident of mysterious deaths, one after another of students who had gone abroad to study with dreams of bright future, is deeply concerning, Ghimire said. The earlier death of Prakriti Lansal on February 16 at KIIT sparked protest, with students alleging harassment by a fellow student and inaction by the university. The accused was arrested, but lawmakers now question if these incidents are coincidental. Former Education Minister Devendra Paudel demanded a serious investigation, noting Sah's death hours after speaking with her father. Independent lawmaker Amresh Kumar Singh criticized the government's silence, alleging bias as Sahs hails from Madhesh. As per reports, approximately 1,200 Nepali students are currently enrolled in India's KIIT. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.